Uh, Good morning. All right. So, as usual, my name is Tumi Tladi. Coming through on Monday morning. It's a brand new week, an exciting week. The 21st of June 2021. Time is 20 minutes after 1 a.m. Like I said in the previous video number 17, I don't usually work at this time, but it sounds like it's a fun thing to do work at this time. So let's get down to business, shall we? All right. So I'm gonna make another video with regards to external services, and I feel like this one is important to cover for the sake of the mobile application. But then I just realized that it's also on the web application. So the name of the service or the name of the company is called SyncFusion. SyncFusion.com. I do have the account with them. I hope I still remember my credentials, because on my iPad I'm already authenticated. I don't have to authenticate myself. So what is this guy all about? So what's happening here? Well, I don't need to log in, because then I can tell you to create an account. They do have community edition. Let me see if I can't get that link for community edition. That's what I'm using. Other than that, you need to pay. How much money do you have, by the way? You that wants to build an app or a system, how much money do you have? Okay. I also have this what you call Essential Studio, but not the enterprise one. So let me look for community edition. You see, there's a lot of money. I'm gonna focus on mobile Xamarin in a second. Wait. There we go. Community license, not edition. It's community license. This is the one I'm using. So please check it out. It's a great company. So the ones I'm gonna focus on. Let's see if we can go up. Firstly, let's start with the web part of it. Products, and then I'm gonna go to. They support every platform, or almost all the platform, and they're coming for. Where's mobile? .NET MAUI. Soon you're gonna see .NET MAUI. But let's go to MVC.NET Core. Yes, let's open that one, and then this one's gonna be for Xamarin. So let's go for MVC.NET Core. While I navigate to Visual Studio, we'll talk about something in this project, because this is only where I've made use of it. ASP.NET MVC targeting.NET framework. Okay, so let's give this guy a few seconds to load while we check what's happening on this side. Okay, the complete ASP.NET Core UI controls library, the one I've made use of, it's called Grid. Is it DataGrid? Yes, I believe, yeah, it's DataGrid. This is the one I've made use of. And this side, just give it a second. Okay, the one that I've used, let's see. And by the way, you can choose to go a platform specific route, like do only for iOS, Xamarin iOS, or Xamarin Android, but I'm into Xamarin Form, so I'll talk about the ones I've used and how do you get to use them. Okay, so this is the guy. Yes, I've used, you've seen this. I'm gonna log in now and show you. So it's what I've used. And let me make something clear. You wanna research on how these things work, right? You wanna do that, but let me tell you something. These things are complex to put them together, because you have a certain needs, and not everyone on the internet has the same need as you have. So you have to figure out a genius way to get things done. Okay, so this is a NuGet package. They do have a NuGet package. This is the version number 18.4.0.44, and then so this is the package. while I'm here, I wanna warn you about something before I continue. So let's do right click. Let's look at the file. Let's open this in File Explorer because I want to show you the size of the package. If you choose to deploy and publish your ASP.NET MVC web application choosing self-contained deployment mode, that because remember I did a video, please check the video where I did external service for hosting, where I show you that should you choose to use self-contained based on your web hosting provider being unable to cater for ASP.NET Core, like with a framework dependent, this is what you're gonna bump into. So let's go to bin, release net 5. Let's look for SyncFusion. There we go. See, SyncFusion is 3 megabytes. So now you are warned. Now you understand. We are done. Okay, so how did I set this up in the web application? So let's see if we can still remember. Views, view import. Let's give this one a second while it attempts to show me that guy. Let's log in to show you where I've utilized this as the administrator and the flexibility of this control from this incredible company. Forgive me, I'm sending some things behind the scenes, so that's why the computer's a bit slowish. Okay, but let's give it a second. There we go. So I was correct. So now in .NET Core, you're gonna have this folder called _view import. So it's under the views folder. Now the only thing I did was to add the this guy, add a tag helper, and then I did specify that, you know, star comma syncfusion.ej2. That's the first thing you need to do. So how did I make use of it? So again, let's go back to the views. We're gonna go to uploads and then the index. So while it loads, let's navigate to the same page. So let me log in as the administrator. Okay, so this is the DataGrid control that I've used. See, Microsoft Edge, this browser. See now. Honestly, this browser it's a weak browser. But I'll try to tamper with the settings here, but this cannot go on. And then whatever I was sending, it's slowing down. Okay, how is my connection? What's happening? Come on. Okay, let's check Visual Studio. What's in Visual Studio? Okay, there we go. So you did add the import. Now this is how you configure this guy. I'm not gonna go to data access layer because some of these things are coming from data access layer, but I'll show you how I wired this guy. I think it's only fair that you get to see that. But I don't wanna go long though. So we have the view. So let's take a look at controller for MVC for this guy and uploads controller. Okay, so because mine is wrapped up inside the panel, you know, and then I've set up certain things like panel default, and this is a custom CSS class, and then the panel body, and then this is how I have it. So unfortunately you have to use, okay, this PC. Okay, while we are here, we'll talk about this, how everything is wired up. I just hope this is not gonna be slow because it's already starting to be slow. I don't know why. And okay, let's go to tasks. We've seen this control, and we're gonna go to operations. But this cannot go on though. Okay, I'm not gonna rely on Visual Studio. Let me go to Azure DevOps to do this thing from Azure DevOps. I think it's gonna be easy and better that way. Although it's not gonna be optimal, but dev.azure operations, wanna go to upload. All right. And this is the second time he's doing this. I don't know why. Okay, let's wait for this guy. It's fine. I'm gonna use what's on Azure DevOps to browse through the code. So this is the control that I've used. It's a data created from SyncFusion company, you know, for ASP.NET MVC, targeting.NET Core. So this is the control, everything about the control. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you how I got the data, what's happening. That's it. I'm not gonna go into specific details. I'll make a video on that one. Yeah. So, but let's go to this project. We're gonna go to the controllers in a new view, in a new window, and we're gonna go to this guy, and then we're gonna go to uploads and uploads controller. I hope that I'm still clear enough. Okay, so the most important thing is this method, this one. So firstly, actions. You see that when we do code in detail, that I'm saying get uploads, right? So I'm specifying the verb HTTP get, and it's an asynchronous method, public async task. I action result. Remember, this is MVC, so it has to be I action result, and then the name of the action method or the view that's going to be returned is going to be index. So I do have a try and catch block, a proper defensive programming or proper way of coding. So I'm gonna say var uploads, and I'm gonna await. I'm gonna go to upload service and get async, and then those uploads are gonna go now pass to this view bag called data source. You're gonna see this consistency in my view bags, that we know this view bag can take in any object, right? Any object. So it's an anonymous property, right? So I love to specify to say this view bag. When it's view bag, I don't want to say view bag dot data source. I like to say view bag dot view bag data source. So that's how I assigned a list of uploads to this view bag data source, and then this uses dependency injection. Like I said, that's not the topic today of the scope. Now you understand. And then on the view you saw, well, let me go quickly how this is wired up, and then uploads. Give it a second. Come on. Oh, index was okay. Okay, so I don't need anything else except to say EJS. This is a tag that will be identified that this is a SyncFusion Control EJ you give it the ID, has to be a grid lines, both these lines and those lines, like the vertical and horizontal lines. And then data source, you see data source, and I'm using at viewback data source. So now it has data bound, allow paging true, allow sorting true, show column chooser true, and then toolbar. And this is a new list where you like a column chooser and a search. So toolbar, it's column chooser and then a search, but you can add multiple. And then row selector, it's a custom code when what happens when you click the row, because I need it. And then yeah, you can figure out the code, basically what I'm doing, but just know that these are actual properties for upload entity model. So we've covered this. I'm only pulling certain things, but like I said, I'll do this in detail, but this is how I wide up. It's very easy, it's very flexible. The property name have to match, and then that's it. And then you just have to do the header text. So we have these header tags, and then we have the actual properties corresponding to those header texts. And then that's it, basically. And then this is that function. Like I said, I'll do this in detail. Not now. When you click, what happened, I'll explain this JavaScript code and everything and where it's going. So now you know where this guy is. So what I want to do, I want to go now switch to mobile. Let this guy refresh. I want to go and switch now to mobile, and this guy let it refresh in the meantime. Close, and then we go to mobile. Mobile, we go to the project, a shared project, and go into the views. So how do you set this one? This is very interesting, because I'm unable to use Visual Studio right now. I don't know what's happening. Like, I honestly don't know what's happening. But when it comes to Android, let's start with iOS. So when you bring in the package, you've seen the package, right? Unfortunately, I can't show this from here, but let's continue to move. Okay, so you're gonna go to app delegate class. So I'm gonna open it this side, and then for Android, it's main activity when you initialize the package after it's being added, and then we are done. And then we're gonna go to the views, and I'm gonna use a couple that show up here. For example, do we have any SyncFusion controls? I know there is something. There we go. We have one, and there's another one. Okay, I'm gonna focus on the screenshot and the screenshot. And again, apologies, I cannot run the app right now because my visor is still broken. It needs certain things installed, but I'll do this extensively when I use my laptop. So this control, this select services type or select in type, it's a SyncFusion control. This one, we'll come and check it. I believe the one I've used accordion, I've used combo box. I believe it's a combo box, yes. And then max entry. Is it masked entry? No. I've used rating. You see that the rating. I've used progress bar. No, biz indicator. I've used biz indicator. Unfortunately, I can't show it right now, but I'll get there once I run the app. And I've used the text input layout. It's what I'm gonna show. Yeah, cool. So we are done with this guy. I can just log out and wrap this one out. Okay, so we do have the image and this one. I believe it's a combo box. So let's quickly navigate. Oh, wait, how you set up? Let's start with RS. So this is how you set SyncFusion. Now, multiple controls from SyncFusion after adding the new Core package. They want it this way so that it can work with the renderers. So I did explain this when I did a platform specific project for iOS. This is how they want it. So I've used expander, I've used accordion, I've used cards, I've used parallax view, I've used base indicator, I've used rotator, and then ratings. So it's what I've used, and this is how you initialize it in iOS application. Now in Android, so it didn't need to be initialized and it just works. Well, you didn't need to initialize it and it just works. Interesting. Okay, so I guess, but you can read the documentation here that how do you set this thing up. But I remember for iOS they specifically want you to do that. Okay, so how do we then focus on the mobile application to say, let's go to content pages, and then we're gonna go to services, and we're gonna go to service upload. This one, let's open the new tab. So we want to see how do we do this, like how do we get to do this. Okay, yeah, because this is uploads page for services tab. Okay, so first and foremost you have to bring in, you see this text input layout, it's from SyncFusion, the namespace. I also have the base indicator. Yes, from the same. Wait, okay, but let me focus on this one. Text input layout. Okay. So we're looking for select. There we go. So this is the one that says select service type. This guy, that's what we see, select service type. So let's see how it's been wired up. So I'm gonna focus on this guy in total. Text input layout from SyncFusion, text input layout. So the grid column, it's easy. We have the hint, that's what shows up here on this line, that's the hint. And then we have unfocused color, and then we have container type, and then we have outline corner radius, is those round nice borders, you know, corners right there. We have the margin, and then I placed a picker inside because that controls a picker actually, that one, but I'll show you the one of a normal text. So I placed a picker. A picker is a Xamarin forms control, and I continue with the text input where I'm looking at the hint label style, where I'm just tampering with the font size of it. So this is how you bring it up. Okay, so let's go now to a different guy, which is, we're done with that one, this one. Now when we have to text in, so there's a settings tab, close this, general, settings. Again, how do we bring this text input layout from SyncFusion? And the very first thing we do is this guy. This is the guy. So it has the hint for username, and then please enter your preferred username. It's a helper text. There we go. Please enter your preferred username, and then we have the actual hint, which is the username. And then here I'm just playing with the colors, the container, corner radius, the margin, and I put in the entry inside of it. And this is how it's supposed to be, a normal entry. So yes, this is how you wire SyncFusion controls in here. I have many. Let's see, I still have time. Let me show the ratings for feedback. So that's where we write the feedback. So I'm using expander and the rating from SyncFusion. And I also show this bit indicator because it comes directly from it. The bit indicator, but you see it in action. The one I want to focus on is the ratings control. Here it is. Item size 20, precision, horizontal options, value. You see I'm binding, it's bindable. That's another thing, by the way. When you look at Xamarin World, because almost every control is bindable, look at this benefit because it's making use of MVVM. It's read only, item count, item spacing, tooltip precision, tooltip placement, and we're looking at the ratings and settings where I play with the color, what should happen. Well, I don't have the image for it. Okay, so yeah, that's how you actually get them working. Is there anything else? So it's easy to make use of these guys and check what's happening. Very easy. My tip: use as many as built-in Xamarin Forms controls, and then if one is not doing exactly what you like or hoping, then switch now to these third-party providers. So in a nutshell, that's how SyncFusion was wired up in identical docs, both for ASP.NET MVC, targeting.NET framework, .NET Core, sorry, and then also for the mobile application. So yeah, I believe it's a great company. We do have other control vendors, they're called control vendors, but I really love SyncFusion. Even for the OPF, I'm gonna make use of SyncFusion. You know, I think it's efficient for me, and that's why I love it. Okay, I think I'm done. Yes, we are done. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was informative. I hope that it provides some insight into certain things. It still is all about how much it goes into developing a fully fledged system. It's all about that. It's heavy thing. It's a lot of work to be done. One just need to be always willing to do this kind of work, and that's it. All will be well. With that being said, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and then tell your friends about the goodness of this content on this channel, and I'll appreciate that. Thank you very much.